All right, guys, we're heading down to do a private session with a young boy named Theo, straight from Korea. Excited here to play some hockey, so let's get it on. I've got the truck loaded up here. We're gonna go to a local lacrosse box and just do some really basic stick handling and shooting drills. I've also got some equipment for him to get him started, so let's go see what's going on.
Can you really start a business with no money? That's the question we're testing in this series. Welcome to Skate2Scale, my raw, unfiltered journey to take the hockey lab from being just a backyard idea to a multi-million-dollar franchise. I'm not here to show you the highlight reel, but I'm showing you the late nights, the grinds, the risks, the setbacks, and the breakthroughs that come from going all in. We're doing this with limited resources. I'm trying to bootstrap this as much as possible to show you that it's possible and that you can do it too. You always hear about those entrepreneurs that talk about the grind, building a business with no money, those late nights. But here we're going to document it, and I'm going to show you as much as I can. I'm new to this whole YouTube game, so the edits are going to be a little wonky. The footage might not be the best, but we're going to try to get better and better each video. And I'm going to be as honest and transparent and bring you along for every step of the journey. So like, subscribe, and let's get to the action.
Yep. One thing here too with your arms, you want to try to bring this arm forward a little bit here, and as you lean, you want to lean down, right? You can lean like this. This arm goes that way, this arm goes this way, right? So you end up going like that, right? But with the little flick at the end, right? So as soon as you can lean into it, yeah. Yep. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, remember that weight in the back and step through. Practice without a puck. Just a few times, no puck. Just getting that weight on the back. Yeah. And stepping through. Stepping through. Yeah. And your stick at the end. Right now, you're going like that. You want to go and curl it so it ends like this. Yeah, yeah. Curl it around like that. Yeah, and that weight from back to forward. Yeah, there you go. Try it with that guy.
So when I say starting from zero, it's not quite zero. So I started this company back in April 2025. So that's been about 5 months or so. And the original idea was not to open up a hockey training facility. My background is in music. I've been a musician touring the world for the past 20 years. I grew up as a hockey goalie. I've been really passionate about business and psychology and the mind. And my forte, so to speak, is more on the mental performance and the orchestration of business. But I do just love working with the youth, with young athletes, with young musicians. Something about them just having the passion and the optimism to still dream about the future. It's really inspiring to work with them.
Like that, right? So you kind of go, you start with your thing of this and you go like that, right? Oh, yep, yep.
When I originally started what is Fusion Flow coaching, my main intention was to help people with their mindset, because that's something that for some reason people have always just kind of come to me for a counsel, and it's something that I've been really passionate about learning. So originally I was working with some business owners, working on their mindset, and it slowly evolved into working with athletes and the youth. through mental performance coaching and just my background in hockey and my son being involved in hockey and seeing a need here in my local community for a lack of ice time and a lack of off-ice training, mixed with just the mixed landscape of the hockey pathway with, high performance leagues, AAA leagues, academies, where minor hockey is kind of getting muddy, and I feel like a place to build community and have a community hub for minor hockey outside of the rink for teammates to develop together is just a really important thing to grow in local communities, my local community and across. So this is something that I've been working on, and I've decided to bring you guys along for the ride and document. So
No! All right, you gotta go get it. You gotta go get it now. I'll race you. All right, just wrapping up a one-on-one coaching session with a young athlete named Theo. He moved here straight from Korea very recently to play hockey. He's a young avid hockey fan, so just had my first session with him. First time he ever shot a puck, which is pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting to see, and by the end of the session he was starting to lift it, almost getting some top corner shots, so I was quite impressed. Yeah, really great job. So just kind of on my way back home now.
All right, I wanted to set up the rest of the synthetic ice from last time and get a little bit more of a feel for it and how it's going to work out, and if it's going to work out for what we want to do with the hockey lab. So, I'm just setting this up on my back porch here. This hockey net is pretty beat up, as you can see. It's all rusted. So just strapped it to the railing there so I can practice some goalie moves on it. Just wanted to test out a puck and how it glides on it, because shots were fine, but I found, as you can see here, and this is even like a specialized Bauer puck, it still kind of skips. And I don't know if you guys have had this experience with synthetic ice, but getting the right synthetic ice for this facility is going to be really important. So I want to be able to test things out and make sure that the product that we're delivering and putting together is just going to be like the best that we can do, right, with what we can afford. So anyways, yeah, strapping on the pads. I grew up a goalie, so I grew up in the era of Patrick Waugh, Dominic Hasek, Curtis Joseph, guys like that, Martin Brodeur. So the RVH did not exist when I was growing up and learning to play goalie. So this is a new technique that, whenever I get a chance on the ice, I'm trying to perfect a little bit, and I'm hoping now that I'm getting my own personal setup, I'll be able to get a little bit better at it. But I realized after trying it out here at home that this net will not work, because ice hockey nets, they kind of like curve around the post, and my skates just can't quite fit on the post there. And as you can see here, having a bit of a tough time digging in to this synthetic ice. You could argue maybe my skates need to be sharpened, but I never slide this much on ice. And even just standing in my regular stance, my legs are starting to slide a little bit. But, after a few rounds here, I start to get used to it. Still a little rusty, It's not quite ice. The slide is pretty good. If I could get a good bite in with my skates, I feel like the pads do actually slide fairly well. And it was kind of nice being able to see myself on camera here too. It's kind of the first time I've been able to see myself in real time. But it was hot out. it was pretty hot out here. You could see I'm starting to sweat, starting to need to take a quick little breather there. But yeah, overall, the glide, I would maybe glide about a couple feet if I gave a good push. But the slide on the pads was really good. Now let's just sit back and enjoy my old school dad technique in action here. Pointers are welcome. Let's get it.